It is absolutely critical that we understand that the priesthood power of God is meant for his sons and daughters, and that we have a prophet today that is asking and literally pleading with the women of the church and the men of the church to access their priesthood power. So, as we're trying to understand and use this priesthood power, I would talk about how then do we understand how to use it. I like to talk about the priesthood as the earth, and this Elder Renlund talks about as well. The big earth meaning the big priesthood. The big idea is the priesthood power, God's total power and authority. Inside that is God's authority that he grants to his sons and daughters on the earth to carry out his work. And inside that, we have two different sources or governments, in a sense, of priesthood. The first is the hierarchical, the administrative priesthood. This is what we're studying today in the New Testament. It's a prophet, first presidency, quorum of the 12. It's what we see in the public-facing area of the church. When we go to church on Sunday, this is what we see. It's what Joseph Smith was first restoring in 1829, as he was learning and receiving keys of the priesthood from Peter, James, and John. The patriarchal or familial priesthood is one that we haven't talked about as much in the past, but we are talking about constantly today, especially with the prophet who is so temple-focused. This is the patriarchal or familial priesthood, otherwise known in the temple today as the New and Everlasting Covenant. Some people struggle with the term patriarchal, and I appreciate President Benson actually saying that another term for patriarchal is familial, to help clarify that for the members of the church today. So how do we learn then about this priesthood? I'm specifically talking about priesthood as associated with the temple and with the family and what we see primarily in the Old Testament. How do we learn about this priesthood? President Nelson has given many talks on this topic since he became the prophet in 2018. These are two different talks he's given to women specifically. In the first talk, he's entreating women to study prayerfully all the truths you can find out about priesthood power. And he invites them specifically to go to section 84 and then section 107. And then he says, these scriptures and teachings by modern prophets, seers, and revelators are filled with these truths. He repeats the invitation again the year later. I renew my invitation, he says, for you to increase your understanding of priesthood power and temple covenants and blessings. So then where does he ask us to go besides the scriptures? The same place the prophet Joseph Smith asked us to go to understand the patriarchal order or the familial order of the priesthood, the temple.